The following is a production of the Dallas Genealogical Society. For more information, please visit our website at dallasgenealogy.com. And good morning to everybody who is just joining the call. Welcome.
Yes, good morning. We've got
This
a
is
lot of eager people.
I just tried to download the the handout you have on the website.
Try it
And
again and refresh your browser. I've fixed the problem on my end.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
same thing happened to me. I just redid it.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
I just got your message and just fixed that, so it's a newly corrected problem.
I just wanted to make sure you got the message. Thank you.
You obviously don't pay your webmaster enough.
No, we don't.
I like the comment though, how you said, "Oh crud."
You know what I was thinking, though.
Gina, are you going to do your social history course at SLIG next year?
No.
Okay.
You have to be picked for SLIG, you have to apply, and then they have to approve you. And typically they don't approve the same course twice in a row.
Okay.
Well, gosh, we got a position on our board open. Fill in your spare time and be a member of our board.
Well, my son would like that. He wants me to move down there. He's at UNT. He keeps saying, you can work at Texas Women's University.
Or SMU or
Yeah.
Texas at Dallas or a lot of other fine institutions.
There is.
UT Arlington,
Yeah.
UT Dallas.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm actually hopefully going to go down there in a few months, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Where are you now, Gina?
Southern California.
Oh, yes. That's where I'm from.
Oh, where?
The San Fernando Valley.
Oh, okay. I live in Murrieta, which is on the way to San Diego.
Yep. I have cousins in Menifee and Corona and Orange County. Yeah.
Yep.
I miss it.
Yeah. Well, I bet, especially a few weeks ago, huh? When it was snowing.
Yeah.
Except the flip side of that is we have those horrible fires out there all the time.
Yes. Yeah. In fact, when the snow was happening, so my son lives in an apartment, and I had to, they didn't have heat, they didn't have electricity, they didn't have water. So I was like, okay, go out to the snow and boil some snow. And I was giving him all this, he's 19, so he doesn't know what to do.
Mhm.
We don't have snow here. So it was interesting.
Yeah, I'm heading out there in August. Santa Barbara, Southwest Airlines is going to start flying to Santa Barbara. So
Nice.
I'm going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the perfect place to go in August.
Mhm.
Does your son have any idea what he's going to study at UNT?
He's a jazz musician, so
he went
he's
to
in jazz
good
studies.
place. Yeah, good place for that.
That's a good program, I've heard.
It is.
So
So
what is his instruments?
he's a guitarist.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah, nice.
Yeah. So he's a jazz studies major, and then he teaches at the School of Rock, I think in Frisco,
Mhm.
and he teaches guitar and bass.
Good for him.
Yeah. So the one thing I've missed, because, obviously I haven't been able to go down there. I took him back when school reopened, but is going to Recycled Books, which is the big used bookstore in Denton. Have you ever been there? Oh,
No.
That is the best bookstore in the world. It's in an old opera house.
Mm.
So it's 3 stories of books, and they also have records. And it's fabulous. So
In Dallas, we have half-price books, and those are really good too.
yes. I think when I was in Dallas the last time, was it Dallas or Fort Worth?
Apparently those two flying fishes aren't connected.
So the last time I went to some art museum, we tried to go to the book
Yeah. that came up.
repository for the JFK assassination, but it was closed.
Mm.
A lot of the museums are closed.
Mhm.
I just heard, speaking of JFK, so, Officer J.D. Tippit that was shot that same day, his widow just passed away this week. She was
Oh.
92. And I worked a few years ago, I worked at a company and I knew his daughter.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was, sad to know that she's passed on, but such history.
She was 92,
Mm-hmm.
so she had a long life.
Mm-hmm.
Susan Younger, just a quick sound check. With this new headphone, what's it sound like with my heater running like it is right now?
Fine. I'm not hearing any.
Good.
There's no abnormal background noise.
Yeah, with that other microphone I had, it sounded like I had a jet engine in the room with me.
No, you're there. It's good quality.
Good.
So what
Thank
kind
you.
of headset did you buy? So Tony's sporting new hardware.
That's right. My new bling, a new set of costs, KOSS.
Yes. I'm getting a note here.
Yeah, Gina, at least I weathered the storm and the cold here okay until the portal to Texas history, which is hosted up at the University of North Texas, went off the air. It's like, what do I do now? I need my records. But they shut down for several days.
Did you now for my son, he would have electricity. After a while, he would have electricity for like a half an hour and then off for an hour and then on for half an hour. Is that what happened to you?
No, the shortfall in electricity, our generating capacity was almost half of what it normally should have been. And so they had to shed so much load that they couldn't do the rolling blackouts in a lot of parts of the state because to shed enough load in the Dallas area, there's a very large block of area. They had no place they could shift it to without shutting down vital facilities, hospitals and things like that.
Okay.
So for a lot of people, like I think Susan Rainwater was on here, she was just off for days.
Yeah. we were off for 24 hours.
Yeah, I think Brandon was too. He was off for several days and then it finally came back on. And then they did the rolling.
Yeah, we did the rolling.
Yeah. And he, unfortunately, his apartment building, the boiler or whatever their heating is, that went out. So they had no heat. So, yeah, it was really crazy. Plus, he doesn't know how to drive in the snow, right? So there was that issue.
Although nobody else in Texas does either. So
It wasn't that much.
Well, he wouldn't drive. So it was not that there was anywhere to drive to, but yeah, so it was kind of interesting. They shut down the school too. So I said, why don't you go to the school? They have a generator, but I guess they weren't generating any electricity either. So maybe, Tony, that's why it went down.
yeah, I'm sure they did.
So Tony, when did you want to do the poll about how many members?
I'm doing a poll. Well, yes, I am.
What?
Okay, yeah, I've got it here. Usually if we wait till about 5 minutes or so after we start, we catch most everybody.
Okay.
So 5 or 10 minutes into the meeting is probably ideal.
All right. Okay.
So anybody want to take bets on how soon the Dallas Public Library is going to open?
Archie.
Actually, I have a little bit of insider information on that because I called Stephanie last week to ask her, and she said she has no idea.
That's not information.
It's information, just like it's negative evidence.
Oh, okay. You're right.
We should start one of those polls, where you put some money on a date, and if it opens
There
on
we
that
go.
date, then
We can have a raffle.
yeah, you get to keep half. We'll take half.
The really sad thing is one of our branch libraries out here is totally destroyed. I mean, they lost all of their books. I mean, they had a big flood, I guess.
Oh
Oh,
And
no.
no.
That's
everything
awful.
froze. It's the renter. Let's see. I can't remember the name of it. It's over off Preston Road in Frankfurt something or other.
Goodness.
Branch library, and they had a not a real big genealogy collection, but they had a few books that I used out of that library. So, but and they had just remodeled after the hurricane. They also got hit. I mean, the tornado. They also got hit in the tornado and had lots of damage last October, a year ago October, and they had just gotten back open after that.
I guess they had lots of pipes burst in the ceiling.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah, we were just
It
driving.
was the Renner Frankfurt branch.
Right,
Yes. Yeah, the ceiling just basically collapsed all over.
Oh, gee
The
whiz.
Dallas Public, the Friends of the Dallas Public Library and the Dallas Public Library have been sending out notices, but it is closed for construction. Well, it's a construction site,
For
they
the
said.
foreseeable future.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be closed for a long time because of restocking the books.
Yeah, that area really got clobbered by those tornadoes. We were just up there yesterday looking at some of the reconstruction. A lot of the houses just got, totally destroyed there.
Mhm.
And some are still, pretty heavily damaged.
Well, my friend's house, she had a fire and just about to move back into her house. This was some time ago when the tornado. She's right across from Thomas Jefferson High School, and really did a lot of damage in her house. And she's finally back in. The people that are having to deal with getting contractors. I mean, it'll be just like Hurricane Harvey. You won't be able to find a contractor up here either.
Yeah.
The whole state has been involved.
Yeah.
Well, if you drive down Forest going west, there's still a lot of places along there that have no roofs and all the trees look like a moonscape.
Yeah.
Oh, on Forest now, I think on Walnut Hill that would be true, and Royal. But
Royal is probably what I'm thinking.
yeah, they finally have torn down the where there was an old Tom Thumb when I was growing up, and all that on the northwest corner of Marsh and Walnut Hill.
Yes, they flattened that.
Yeah. And I read that Central Market looks like they're going to be opening up in a little while anyway. They were talking about whether they were going to require masks or not require masks, and when they opened up again.
I didn't realize they were closed.
Well, yeah. On Preston and Royal, I get Preston and Royal. Yeah.
Well, there's the only one I know of is Midway and Northwest Highway.
Yeah, Preston Royal. They were damaged by the tornado.
Got it. Oh, I know the one you mean. I do.
So, Gina, that's the one thing Texas has over California. We have much more tornadoes.
Yeah, but they have earthquakes.
I'll take an earthquake.
So do we now. We have earthquakes too. Their fracking
Yeah.
has caused them to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, when we were there one time, moving my son back in, we were at the hotel and there was a tornado warning or something. And I was like freaking out and running to the front saying, what do we do? And
Don't do anything. If it's going to get you, it gets you.
that's not a good answer for me. So, I'm calling one of my friends who used to live in Texas. He's telling me what to do. I'm like, where's your shelter? And I'm freaking out. And
Yeah, just get in the basement.
Right.
And let the house collapse down on top of you.
Well, whenever we have tornado alerts, my nieces and nephews up in Arkansas will text me, get in the bathroom, Barbara, get in the bathroom. You have a tornado alert. And I'm going, it's not anywhere near me,
That's the weird thing about Texas. I mean, I remember back several years ago when that tornadoes came through Rowlett and Rockwall. I walked out on the front porch and the sun was shining.
Mm-hmm.
But 10 miles away, the houses were getting ripped apart. So it's just really bizarre.
Well, that was the striking thing that I observed driving through that area up around Forest and Royal and all that got so badly hit with the tornado in October was literally one house, could be
Yep.
almost untouched and next door to be destroyed. And across the
Yep.
street, same thing. It's
Yeah.
just truly localized.
And a really bizarre thing about those tornadoes that came through Rowlett, you could go through some of the damage, and the roof and the top story of the house were just demolished. And on the ground floor, the paint wasn't even disturbed. It was just really strange.
They're really powerful things.
When they were tearing down Texas Stadium and they had those little earthquakes over there, and we felt one of them here in our neighborhood, and I put on Facebook, I felt my first earthquake, and everybody goes, that wasn't really an earthquake, it was only a 2.2, or something. Yeah, but I felt it.
You're just really sensitive, that's all.
Well, how many of us watched some of Roots Tech? Okay, we got some people that did Roots Tech. Did you hear how many people participated?
500,000 from what I heard.
It ended being up over 500,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think
I had,
Steve.
I brought 73,000 plus relatives.
I
almost
You have
think that I
60,000
brought
cousins at Root Stack.
You'll be going through that database for a while.
I think I'm looking for the spring, maybe the summer too.
I had one relative in Germany there, so now I have another hint from Germany.
All right.
Were you able to contact the man?
I didn't yet because I have to put it in my tree and verify it first. I want to actually go and look at the German records to see if he did it right, because family search trees are not always got all of the records in them.
Yeah.
And the further back you go, the
worse it
less,
gets.
the worse it gets. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so Gina, I see you're chatting with somebody. I'm guessing you're talking about the name of the download. And
Yes.
it's okay. So I did that. I had the wrong image, and rather than change the link, because I had it several places, I just changed the contents of it. So yes, it says something about Family Search 2013. That's the right one.
I thought she meant it was in the handout. So I kept looking, going, I just wrote this week. How could this be?
Yeah.
And so I kept looking, and then she said, yeah, it was in the name. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's it.
So
I
if
just
you-
changed its name when I downloaded it. So
Okay, I'm still getting the 2013 handout. When I go to the website, I clicked on the general meeting tab, next general meeting, and it had download her handout, and I click on that, and it shows
okay,
that.
when you get to that point, then refresh your screen.
Okay.
All right. Ah,
Nope, still got it. Okay.
that works.
Didn't
We're
work for
going
me.
We're going to need to explain that.
I'll
Is it-
drop it in the chat group. And you can-
Okay. Yeah, because I was getting the 2013 family search.
Yeah, still am.
So Gayla, I see Gayla's on here. I want
Yeah.
to give you an update about the Durrett Cemetery.
Yeah.
What has happened is, there were very few burials in that family cemetery, and apparently they've moved the remains over to the Edgewood Cemetery in Lancaster.
Ah.
So he sent me a bunch of links to Facebook about that. Maybe we could get him to write an article about
Well, that'd be cool.
doing that, moving
Yeah.
the family remains to another cemetery.
That would be interesting. That'd be something to keep on our list when we talk this week at publication content.
So Barbara, about how many people? How many graves are they talking about?
Oh, it wasn't very many. We only had like 3 in our database, but I think there are more than that.
Okay, so
More than that. Not very. But he sent me pictures of that. He's posted the pictures on the Dallas County Pioneers Association Facebook page, and showing about the burials and about the disinterments and all the things they found. And I haven't read it all. I just this morning was getting all of these links from him. So,
Barbara, is that Dan Babb you're talking about?
no, this is Tim Durrett,
Okay.
and it's his Durrett. It's his family's cemetery.
Okay.
And he sent the DGS an email saying, something about the cemetery, and I couldn't understand exactly what he was saying. I think it was he had some mistyped words or something. But anyway, when I contacted him, I said, are you telling me we have it in the wrong place on our map? Are you telling me there are more burials? And so that's when he came back and said, no, they had moved that cemetery, their burials, into Lancaster, Edgewood at Lancaster Cemetery.
are they doing some development there, or?
I think it's just that it was, in a really difficult place. It's on
Okay.
Bear Creek or something like that over in, like I said, it wasn't that many.
Well, thank you for taking that call. I knew that I could start asking questions and would have no idea what I was talking about. So I'm glad I sent him to the right person.
Don't nobody talk at once now.
Well, does anyone have any exciting news, family history discovery they want to share with us?
Yeah, Roostech was real great for me.
Well, yeah,
I've gotten 3 answers back from about the 20 mail out that I sent out. So I've actually got 3 people back and on lines that I don't know nothing about.
Well, good.
Yeah, I filled out a bunch of stuff here. A little 4x6 card there, as you can probably see there.
Yep.
About how many of them I got there. Sent everybody an email, told them who I was, and says, "Hello, cousin, send me something back." So far, I've got 3 of them to answer.
It's pretty good.
Well, I think that's good.
It's very good.
3 more than you had last week.
That's true. And they're on a line that I have absolutely nothing on.
Well, that's
I
good.
just got a name and that's it. Look at there. We got the youngest member now. Yeah.
Well, I actually had an interesting experience last month. I have a cousin in Oklahoma who's big into genealogy, and she got a cousin meeting going like once a month. So I actually met a bunch of second cousins that I've seen maybe once in my life or not at all. And I discovered one actually lives here in Carrollton. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So about how many people are attending the meeting, Gayla?
Oh, I think there might have been 15 of them at that point. But it was really cool because I had met a few of them like in California when I was a little kid. And it was just really neat to get to put faces to names. And my only disappointment was that I had an aunt who made the best cinnamon rolls in the world. And apparently that recipe was not passed down. But two of her grandsons were on the call, and apparently they have her peanut brittle recipe, but not the cinnamon roll. But I can remember, being 8 or 9 years old. To this day, I can taste those cinnamon rolls.
We'll be starting in just 3 or 4 minutes.
So I'm thinking about my mom on the topic of female ancestors. Today, 6 years ago is when she passed away. So been thinking about her, and she's making me smile. She was a character.
Well, you need to write those stories down.
I have, yeah. She was one of those people that if she was given lemons, you make lemonade. That was her way. And the thing that she just drilled into me growing up was, if you're not being productive, you're not making a difference. And I try to teach my kids that, was when they were growing up too. But she was a funny one. She was a interesting, spirited, fun-loving person.
Yeah, where would we all be without our moms?
Yep. She had a love of genealogy, and she actually did a lot of research on my father's side, and that's when she realized that I was eligible for DAR. She wasn't, but she found out I was, and so I'm in that now, and it's just a phenomenal organization. So I'm glad I'm doing it for her. But she never knew that her grandparents, her mom's parents, came from Poland.
Oh,
And I found that just floored. She never knew that. So
that's definitely the benefit of living today and having access to all that we have access to.
She had asked me to help her find her brother. She and her brother were very close growing up, and then his second wife kind of put a wedge between him and the family, and she lost track of him. And so I found him, and unfortunately he was cremated, and he's in storage in what is that town up near San Francisco, San Jose area. And one of my goals is to go get him and bury his ashes properly. He was in the Army and the Navy. And anyway, so I've got his death certificate, and his mother's name listed was not the same as my mom's mother, as she knew her name. Anyway, discovery, and yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if you were or not.
Wow.
Did y'all's department have a?
All right, so it is 11 o'clock. If you would, everyone, I'm going to be sharing my screen, but mute yourselves. We sometimes get background noise, and then go ahead and turn off your videos once Gina starts talking. So I am going to share my screen here. And
Okay, we're seeing it.
all right. Okay. All right. Good morning. We've had a great pre-meeting conversation going and everything, but welcome to the March 6th Dallas Genealogical Society's general meeting. I'm Susan Younger, the president of the society, and on behalf of the DGS board, I welcome all of our members and our visitors joining us virtually via the Zoom conferencing service. We are still in the midst of the corona health crisis, and the Dallas Public Library remains closed. First up, we're going to talk about the Treasurer's Report. Total income for February was $3,260, and total expenses $7,353. We have $21,497 in the checking account and savings of $117,079. And we've investigating an investment opportunity, so we have a $50 kind of placeholder in an investment account. The meetings of the previous of the February meeting are on the DGS website, and since they are posted publicly, we do not need to have an approval of those minutes. But if anyone has any changes or comments, please let us know. Okay, first up is a very important thing. We have a nominating committee composed of Patty Huff-Smith, our chairperson, Dean Barron, Jean Larson, and Breuer and Tammy Garrett. These folks are doing a great service to our community. They are working on a slate for the 2021-22 officers for the DGS. Um, if you know someone who would be an excellent board member, or if you would like to become more involved in DGS, please contact someone there and perhaps volunteer yourself. The easiest way to get to submit a nomination is go to our website, and on the first page there's a little panel there that says Society Leaders, and when you click on that, it brings you to this page and you can submit a nomination. If you think you know someone or want to nominate, you can nominate yourself as well if you want to volunteer, or contact Patty. Her email's volunteer@dallasgenealogy.com, and talk to her about how you would like to become more involved with the society. It's a great group of people to work with, and I invite you to become more involved in the society. The next thing is a lot of fun. We have a committee out there that is taking nominations for awards, which include the DGS Volunteer of the Year, DGS Award of Merit, the Distinguished Service Award, and the Heritage Preservation Award. And we've got someone, we hear some background noise. If you could mute yourselves, please. All right, so let us hear from you about the amazing volunteers. This has been an extraordinary year, and we have stepped out and done things we've never thought about doing before. And we have a lot of people that we need to acknowledge their part in this. And so the way to go in and nominate people for the various awards is at dallasgenealogy.com/DGS/annual awards nominations. And this is the page here where you can go in and nominate for the Award of Merit, Preservation Award, and so on. And in May, we will be holding the awards ceremony. It still looks like we will be doing this virtually. And so please go out and let us know who you think deserves special thanks. We want to say thanks to all of our volunteers, but then we do want to recognize some of the exceptional work. All right, Tony, do you want to go ahead and run a poll? We want to see how many of you joining us today are our members. And so if you would, mark on here if you're a member or just a visitor. Not just, our visitors are important to us, but click on one and then hit the submit button. And while we're doing that, I'm going to start telling you about the SIGs. We have special interest groups that do, very targeted programs, like the German Family Tree Maker, Roots Magic. And so these meet once a month. They are all meeting virtually right now. And we have a virtual help desk that we meet on the fourth Tuesday, so it'll be March 23rd. Come to the virtual help desk with your questions or come with answers and help other people. Share your knowledge and your experience with people who may be getting started or maybe getting started in a new area. So if you go to the DGS website under events, there will be a listing of the topics and the times. So about 80% of our people present today are members, and welcome. And then we have volunteers. So thank you for that. Okay. Well, all right. We have 3 extraordinarily excellent seminars scheduled for this year, and I'm going to let Jim Thornhill unmute and talk to us about the Michael Lacapo seminar that's coming up April 9th and 10th. So Jim?
Thank you, Susan. I'm really excited about Michael Lacapo's seminar about mastering genealogical research. This is going to be a great seminar for us, and it's going to help even those of us who have been doing genealogy for years and years to kind of take a step back and look at our research practices from the very beginning of how we approach a problem all the way through to how we actually formulate that and wrap our minds around it and come up with some answers to help break through those brick walls we have. Our early bird registration ends on March 21st, so I'd encourage you to go ahead and register for that now so you can take advantage of that price break. And it's going to be a 2-day seminar, April 9th and 10th, and it will be recorded. So for 2 weeks after this seminar, you'll be able to go back and review what you heard. Or if by chance you are not able to join us on April 9th, you can still register for this seminar, join us live on April 10th, and then you can come back and watch April 9th at a later time. So we've tried to make that as flexible as we can, but I think it's going to be a great seminar for us. And also in conjunction with the 2-part series we're having, Thomas Jones is going to be with us on July 9th. He's going to basically pick up where Michael left off. After you've done your research, gotten it all together, gotten that recorded, Tom is going to talk about how you take that research and record it either as a family history or write it up for a DGS newsletter article or write it for a genealogy journal, and how you can record those findings and keep them around for future generations. So I think this is going to be a great 2-part series, and I hope you can all join us for that.
Okay, thank you, Jim.
This has been a production of the Dallas Genealogical Society. If you're already a member, thank you. If you're not a member, please consider joining now by going to dallasgenealogy.com and clicking on the membership tab. Your membership dues will help us support the genealogy section of the Dallas Public Library, and it will allow us to continue our education and preservation efforts.